Hey everybody, it's great to have you on the video again today. Just wanted to put out another quick video, and I'll tell you more about what we're sharing in just a second, but I want to start off first by reading a little bit from Who Moved My Cheese by Spencer Johnson. It has everything to do with the message that I'm sharing today, and at the end I'll be sharing with you how you can get a copy of this amazing little book and how it can really change your world as it did mine when I first read it. So I'm just going to read a small excerpt, not going to take very long. Sometimes Haw would imagine Sniff and Scurry finding new cheese and enjoying it. He thought about how good it would be for him to be out on an adventure in the maze and find fresh new cheese. He could almost taste this cheese. The more clearly Haw saw the image of himself finding and enjoying new cheese, the more he saw himself leaving Cheese Station C. "Let's go," he exclaimed, all of a sudden. "No," Him said. Quickly he responded. "I like it here. It's comfortable. It's what I know. Besides, it's dangerous out there." "No, it isn't," Haw argued. "We've run through many parts of the maze before, and we can do it again." "I'm getting too old for that," Him said. "And I'm afraid I'm not interested in getting lost and making a fool of myself. Are you?" With that, Haw's fear of failing returned, and his hope of finding new cheese faded away. So every day the little people continued to do what they had always done before. They went to Cheese Station C, found no cheese, and returned home, carrying with them all of their worries and frustrations that they'd already had. They tried to deny what was happening, but found it harder to get to sleep, had less energy the next day, and were becoming very irritable. Their homes were not nurturing places that they once were. The little people had difficulty sleeping and were having nightmares about not finding any cheese. All right, well, again, Who Moved My Cheese? Great story by Spencer Johnson that I wanted to share just a little bit with you, and I'll tell you a little bit more why at the end here. But let's just get right into it. Let's talk about the Thrive movement for just a second, because that's what that first video kind of talked about, and I really didn't explain it. So I'm going to tell you what the Thrive movement is, so that you can become a part of it and possibly help others join and become a part of it. This isn't about some product or service or anything like that, so let's just get that clear. I had a lot of people last time who watched the video and were like, is it a Thrive patch? Is it this program from Plexus? No, I'm not trying to get you into some program, okay? It's not like that. All right, here we go. The Thrive movement, simple. A movement to thrive instead of survive. Simply put, it's a movement to love and to be loved in return. To show love in the face of fear and doubt and worry. To be hope and inspiration to others around us, to help them feel and see how they can then turn toward love and spark and ignite in them the ability to live a life of love as well. So that's what the Thrive movement is really all about. So last week's video on the currency of love, it was so well received. Overwhelming responses. All I can do is say thank you for all of your amazing words, encouragement, acknowledgement. Had a great time making the video, and really had a great time following up with as many people as got a hold of me. It was just a great time. So thank you everyone for your support and for sharing. It was a great video last Thursday. So I wanted to put out another one today. Today I want to continue on that discussion a bit further about the currency of love, but I want to talk about the currency of fear instead, and talk about how fear is the opposite of love, and how fear drives away and is a negative motivator, forcing the positive of love to lie in waiting, kind of hiding away. Today I want to share on why love is the key ingredient, if you will, to all that you desire in life. And I mean everything. When I say everything you want and desire in life is available to you through sincere love. Fear, however, is the best way to ensure that most all of what you want in life will evade you and hide from you. So here's the question that I'm asking really for everyone that's tuning in. Do you want more success in business, sales? Do you want more success in your relationships, family, marriage? Do you want more success in fitness, health, total all your health and well-being, wealth management, everything? Do you want to have the life of your dreams, if you will, or at least be happier and not feel like you're on a treadmill and feeling all alone? Well, here's the thing. The simple answer is this. It's to let go of your fear or fears and embrace loving yourself first, and then to love others as you would desire to be loved. Then love from everyone and everywhere will begin to chase you down, because love wants to be near to you. Like attracts like. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that in a moment. But before we do, I just want to tell you a little bit about fear and tell you why this is an important message to me. Just to give you background, many of you who have followed me, you know that my journey started at about 311, 312 pounds. I was heavy and overweight. A lot of people were on my case, my family, my friends, people that came and bought cars and things from me. Everybody wanted to help me because I had high blood pressure, high cholesterol. I mean, you name it, I was dying. They literally gave me a death warrant when I went to my first meeting at a doctor, and they let me know that there's a good chance I wouldn't live very long if I hadn't changed some of the things that I was doing. So I began a journey. I'm not going to get into the depths of all that, but I want to tell you a little bit about a roller coaster adventure. I used to like to go to Cedar Point out in Ohio, Sandusky. If you've ever been out there, it's a great park. And I took my kids there because as a child, I used to go there all the time with my dad and my family and my youth group. We loved it. I'm a roller coaster freak. I love roller coasters. Well, anyway, I was right at the peak of about 311 pounds, somewhere in there, right about the time that this story took place. Took my daughter on one specific roller coaster I really wanted to ride. It was one that goes straight up and straight down. It was a really cool ride. I'd never ridden before, and I wanted to get in and ride that one. So I grabbed Jessica. We jumped in line. 2.5 hours later, I didn't, and let me just back up. I didn't check at the front to see if I fit in a seat. You kind of get where this is going? So anyway, 2.5 hours of standing in line, we get into the front seat, right? We stood in the front, to wait for that front seat. We got in there and attempted to put my seatbelt over me and the strap over me. And let me tell you what happened. It didn't fit. Now, that had happened to me before. No big deal. The guys from the tower there would come down and they would help force it down. Well, this time they tried. There was 3 guys by the time they gave up on me, trying to force that seat belt down over me to get it latched, and it would not latch. Now, bear in mind, there's hundreds of people watching me go through this embarrassing experience. This was such a life-changing moment for me because I was so afraid to change my eating habits. I was so afraid of who I would be if I didn't have the weight. I didn't know who I was without it. I was so afraid of what it would take to lose it. I mean, there were so many variables of fear that were just overwhelming on me that it wasn't until this moment of fear that those fears became non-existent. And let me explain why. Because as I'm sitting in that seat, embarrassed beyond belief, and I just literally began to tear up. Because not only could my daughter not ride, I couldn't ride this ride. And I realized I did this to myself. I caused this problem that's keeping me from enjoying my life. And it was a very emotional moment for me. And I can remember that the fear of not being able to enjoy my life began to override the fears of what it would take to lose the weight, the fears of what it would take to eat right, all the fears that I had that were telling me, you can't do it, it'll never happen for you. All those fears were eradicated in that moment by a greater fear, and that was, I can't enjoy the life that I want to enjoy. And that became my greater fear, and it helped me win a love for myself. So let's get into the real purpose of this video so I can explain where I want to go with this and how this movement can really affect you and change your life. So as I said in the last video, we must choose to do all that we do in love as our motivator. So also, I said it begins with nutrition. So what was I saying? I didn't really clarify that in the last video, so I'm going to clarify it here. Simple. Garbage in, garbage out. You've heard that old saying, right? Okay, so let's put another spin on it. Fear in, fear out. So if you're putting fear in or you're allowing fear to override you, fear is going to be what's going to be your motivating factor and your decision maker. We'll talk a little bit more about that. How about love in, love out? So if love is your motivating factor and love is the key ingredient in most of all that you're doing, then love will come out. So here's the thing. Negative foods and choices equal a negative body. Yeah, duh, right? You know that. All right, so here's another factor, though, for nutrition, because we're going to talk about the mind a little bit. Negative thoughts equal negative emotions equal negative actions equal negative results. So how do we thrive instead of survive? Bear with me, stick with me. In just a moment here, I'm going to give you all the answers that you need so that we can get you to the point that you want to get to from what we're doing here. Simple. You allow yourself to feed what you allow yourself to feed on, What you allow yourself to feed on determines how you will react or respond to the world around you. That's powerful. If your life choices are made out of fear or lack, you will lack and be afraid to be loved or to love others. The first step to feeling and being the person that you desire to be, however, is to have what you desire in life, is to begin loving yourself first, as I said at the beginning, enough to make better nutritional choices. If your nutrition is weak, then your mind is going to be weak. That's powerful. If your nutrition is weak, your mind is going to be weak. If your mind is weak, all of your daily decisions and performance will be weak. You see, fear weakens you in every single way. We are not meant to be fearful creatures. However, a healthy fear is normal. Don't touch the hot stove. Let's not get into the depths of that right now. I want to talk about the kind of fear that I'm talking about, though. And here's a question that crosses my mind. Is fear driving your thoughts? Is fear causing you to make poor choices? Is fear causing you to hurt others around you? And is it hurting you? So here's a question that follows that one. Could loving yourself then be the solution to healing everything in your life, from healthier food choices to a better self-image to better personal relationships? Well, I believe it is. And the reason I say that is that there's this amazing book, and I'm going to talk about the Bible for just a second. Here I'm not trying to convert anybody to Christianity, but I think one of the most powerful things that was ever written was some of the things that are in the Bible. One of the most powerful ways you can learn how to live an amazing life from right there. And the Bible says one powerful statement that I believe is probably the most powerful statement in the entire Bible. Next to God is love. We're talking about love. All right, so anyway, so if God is love, it says that perfect love casts out all fear. You see, in the presence of love, fear cannot exist. That's powerful truth. You really want to let that one sink in. So perfect love, when you have perfect love, you are enjoying perfect love, it casts out fear. Fear is no longer a factor, kind of like the show. So how do you begin to love yourself more and feel more powerful? Well, there's two simple answers. Simple answer number one, feed your brain solid truth nutrition, personal growth and development. The answer to giving your brain the nutrition it needs is to get around the people in the world who already know how to live a life of love and are lovers and understand how to eradicate fear. How do you do that? Well, you read books, you get around people who know how to live that way, you start to get that influence around you. Maybe it's listening to some CDs or some tapes. There's all kinds of ways that you can get personal growth and development. It's a key ingredient. You got to feed your brain good food. All right, so second, you got to start feeding your body and brain better vitamins, minerals, and food. Good, solid nutrition so that your brain is functioning well. And not only is your brain functioning well, but you're feeding it good, solid nutritional facts from people who know how to live a life of love. Those two things together are going to make you a force to be reckoned with in this world. I know I get passionate about this subject, but I love to share. So I'm going to help and assist anyone out here who's listening to this video today. Maybe it's touched you. Maybe somehow you've resonated with something that I said today. Maybe it was the story that I shared. Maybe it was a little bit of that cheese book that I shared. I don't know. Something grabbed your attention. And so if that's the case and you desire to make a change, or you want a chance to release fear or fears and embrace love, then I want to give you guys something for free. I've got two things I want to give away for free to anybody who's dead serious about making some changes. I have two special gifts that I want to share with you. First is that I'm going to give a copy of Who Moved My Cheese, that story that I started at the beginning, this one right here. I'm going to give you a copy of this book. Now, it's going to come in a PDF form. I found it on the internet for you, and it's a way for you to get to read it right away. Now, I'd rather at some point you go and buy the book so that Spencer Johnson gets paid. All right, that's the right thing to do. But they've already got this on the internet. You could have found it yourself, so no big deal. I'm going to go ahead and give it to you. I'll get the link into your inbox if you want to read this book. I really highly recommend doing so because it's a fabulous read. It's going to take you less than like 30 to 45 minutes to read this entire story. It's so small a book. Look, the pages are, there's hardly any words on the page. It's like reading a children's story. You can read it so fast. It will absolutely shift the way you feel about fear and how you're living your life right now. So it's a fabulous book. And I definitely want to get this in front of you, and it will help you in your journey of life. Now, number two, I'm also going to go ahead and I'm going to share a very special opportunity here for you to utilize some of the very same daily habits and healthy choices that I make that give me the drive, the desire, the motivation, the inspiration to enjoy every minute of every day that I'm breathing. One of those is obviously personal development. That's why I'm sharing the book. Another one is that I use one single product, that I'm not touting a product here, and I'm not even going to share the name right now. And I don't even want you to know, but look at all those amazing minerals. Look at all those amazing vitamins, superfoods, superfruits that are listed right here. You can't even read that whole thing. However, this is one of the reasons why I have the drive, the desire, the motivation, the ability, because I'm putting good, solid nutrition in my body. So, here's the thing. Not only is that the case, but maybe you would like a one-on-one opportunity to just get on the phone with me and pick my brain a little bit, find out a little bit more about how I've overcome so many things in my life, how I've been able to achieve some of the things that I've achieved. Not that I'm a great person. This is just an opportunity to inspire somebody. Maybe it's you. I don't know. So I'm hoping that maybe I can change your life. That's what we're doing this movement for. And then I would like you to pay it forward, pass it on, change somebody else's life, okay? That's what this is all about, this Thrive movement. So here's what you're going to do. Basically, if you're dead serious about making a change, you want a copy of this book in your inbox. You want to find out a little bit more about the nutritional stuff that I do. If you want to pick my brain, find out a little bit more about how I've been able to achieve the things that I've been able to achieve and overcome the things that I've been able to overcome, like fear and getting really connected to love. I'm going to change some lives out there. I'm going to change some marriages out there. It's going to be God through me. I'm a conduit, you know what I'm saying? Love through me is going to change a lot of people's lives, and I'm excited about it, and then you're going to change some people's lives. So here's what you're going to do. If you are serious about getting together with me and getting these things, then here's what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to inbox me here on Facebook, and you're going to want to say, I want to join the Thrive movement, Jerry. I want to join the Thrive movement. And then I will simply get back in touch with you ASAP, and I will set up a one-on-one meeting with you to not only get you the book, so I can get your email address, so I can get that to you and such, but also be able to give you, an idea of what it is that I'm doing that's changing my daily world, and could be doing the same thing for you through nutrition, through the foods that I'm eating. Pick my brain. Get to know what it is that I know. You might as well. That's what I was talking about earlier. Get around people who know. Yeah, I'm not the end-all be-all. There's people who know way more than me. I'm not here to try and make it sound like I've got it all figured out. But guess what? In a short, under 20-minute video, I've shared a message that really has touched me. And I want to touch somebody's life today. Maybe it's one of you, maybe it's 1,000 of you. You don't have to live in Joplin, Missouri, where I live. You don't have to be anywhere near where I live for you to take advantage of these things. You can be anywhere in the world, and I'd be happy to assist you. I've got people in Canada, I've got people in Mexico, all over the world, that have connected with me in the last 10 years as I've been doing things like life coaching and training and stuff like that. And I just love assisting people. So if there's anything I can do for you, inbox me, Jerry, I want to join the Thrive movement. Give me your best phone number and best email, and I will be getting in contact with you as soon as possible. I hope that this message has really touched you and that you have a fantastic day. I look forward to meeting you on the other end of the phone and on the other end of an email or Facebook. I'll talk to you soon.